Could it also be that he is also mindful of what the laws are and people's rights?
What
and so
are the laws
he
and
can't
what are the
just
people's
thread
rights?
or take certain decisions just like that. He has to also look at the implications of all of those actions.
Let's take the case of this current case of the immigration something.
Okay.
Even the idea of throwing job at the families. Yes, we know there's a general statement that the blood of the martyr is used to water the tree of freedom. Okay? So perhaps those people who are coming behind are reaping the benefit. But that is a very bloody benefit. It shouldn't have been the first thing to do. The first reaction would have been either to suspend the minister, you understand, or do something radical if it is discovered that the minister, not the Comptroller General, had anything to do with this. You understand? Take some radical decisions. And nobody who sponsored the minister, knowing that this minister had gone so awry, will want to stick out his neck to the public that he was the one sponsoring and is opposing it.
They may not come to the public, but within the party, they may do certain things.
If a child is crying and there's somebody doing open-eyed for the child should run to his mother and not look at that side again. I don't know whether you get the point. Because if there's a masquerade pursuing you, and like a little kid sits here and you are there trying to feed the child, and he's looking there, the masquerade is showing some sign of intimidation. And if the child keep looking, it will keep crying. It must go back to the parents for protection. So like the president should refrain and go back to the powers that enabled him to appoint this man. If and only if it is established that the minister is culpable.
Whether he's a nominee of a powerful person or not.
Because I'm not interested in the hue and cry in this country. Once they say, oh, everybody says he's a thief, he's a thief. That has become a very big albatross. We have become so cheap in our reasoning process. You understand? Now, once people castigate, then that person must have done it. Without knowing that those who castigate may actually be the ones carrying the cartons of the albatross we are trapped to solve.
Mr. Nnaji,
yes.
Before your advice to the president to act,
yes,
or like you put in your words, let the snake bite.
Yes.
Isn't that a product of where the snake is coming from? They say if you bite, is it possible to bite the fingers that fed you?
Let me tell you, fire.
The presidency or those elected into office.
I know where you are going. You see, fire has an instruction from God. Yeah? Born when you are used badly. So even if a child, as innocent as it puts the hand there, boom, what does the fire do? It will burn it. It is the duty of the people who want to use fire to understand fire. Because fire is already fire. Do you understand what I mean? As a president, you have your powers. You must have your standards. You must have minimum level where nobody should go below in terms of standard. And anybody who does that, you bite.
How do you strike a balance in your party? Your party says, Mr.
Now,
President,
you see,
this is what we want.
It is this balancing act that compromises integrity. Now, 2015 is a very bad omen for this country.
Why?
In the sense that a lot of compromises, blackmail, chicaneries, shenanigans, all those manipulations, jactitations, all these things are about 2015, depending on what side you are. For example, the composition of this conference has a lot to do with 2000. There's a lot of placation. Many of the protagonists for change in their own, contraption. And those who are saying, agitating for one thing or the other, some of them have been placated by appointing them into the national conference because government has decided to make it juicy. A national conference of this type should have been by way of sacrifice. In fact, you can gather all those people who have stolen stiff and tell them on your own, at your own expense, come and tell us how we can redo this country. At the back of your mind, you know that there were those who inflicted this damage on this country. Because many of them who did that damage are still there. And they don't know anything better because they spent their time doing damages. They never learned how to repair. No, I don't know whether I get the point. And many of them have gone beyond the level where they can learn new tricks. Even though learning is a lifelong something, but they have chosen the negative. So anytime you touch them, they are singing about yesterday, not tomorrow. And you and I, and some of you, even if I'm in the old generation, but I'm not so old, we still have tomorrow before us. Many of them have spent their tomorrow yesterday.
In fact, that is where I wanted to come in, because going by the bean weevil analogy you painted, how can some who would try to fight and redirect what exactly they are there for help in this whole issue? Because this is week 2, and we're still at the starting point of voting pattern and what to do and what not to do.
That is the thing. The conference was a popular agitation and clamor. When some people who didn't want it, because those who profit from the old order will not want a new order to emerge. And if they have worked very hard to ingratiate, they take positions. You know, if you are 1 million people talking, and there are 15 who are capable of acting, you can not achieve anything with your number. I don't know whether you get it. So the focus, that's why I used to quote this Jesse the Body Ventura when he was a wrestler. He said that he was the leader of the moral minority, but they lord it over the moral majority. Why? Because they are organized, they are closely knit, but this other group with their morality, they are amorphous, incapable of agreeing on anything. So when you put 75% wage, you already designed the system to fail. And somebody must have done the advice. It was not the president's own idea. Somebody did the advice. And this person must be representing a constituency. And he worked it in, silently. But the man who must carry the can is the president. So why didn't the government hammer out, since it knew how to hammer out no-go areas, why didn't it hammer out the rules? And I can tell you, even the issue of no-go area of unity of this country, that was wrong to have said is not part of it.
Why?
The reason is that the victim, those who feel victimized, who feel oppressed by the Nigerian system, have that one as the only strategic instrument. What does a houseboy do? If you oppress him so much, he runs away from your captivity, quote unquote. So when you want to drink that your tea, you have to wake up, go and boil the water. If you try that 1 week, you now know that it has some value. If you are in employment, frustration of employment is not illegal. But when they keep you for 10 years, no promotion, then you leave that job. Suddenly the Oga will know, when you are leaving in your exit interview, they now know that they can now promote you. But you know, so these are some of the instruments the people who are being oppressed or who feel oppressed and agitated by the Nigerian system could have used. If we are not being treated fairly, we may have to go our own way. Then answer, okay, what do you want? Because you cannot victimize unless you have victims.
But something good can come out of Nazareth.
Something good can come out of Nazareth. We can only see that it was only one man. It's only one man, and it was ordained. You understand? I don't know whether such can replicate. It's just like telling me that David will always kill Goliath.
So
How many of the Davids have we replicated?
But one man can cause a big change.
That's why it was ordained.
All right, Dr. Chima Nnaji, thank you for coming on this morning. Well, back after this, join us again.